This is the RepCheck tutorial on your ringless voicemail system. From your dashboard, click on RepCheck. Then comes up this screen. Now let me preempt this with what a RepCheck is. A RepCheck checks against numbers that are being used in campaigns. In other words, in this system, your opt-to-track number. The current telemarketing laws that are out there have suggested that Congress no longer wants to spend billions of dollars of taxpayers' money to chase down these robocalling things and stuff that are non applicable to the latest telemarketing laws. In other words, spam systems and so on. Our system is not a robocall system, but we do comply with telemarketing laws. So the Congress has said, how are we going to chase this when, for instance, robocalls can be done with a computer in the middle of anywhere in the world? Could come out of India, Pakistan, some other country, and be spamming U.S. cell phone numbers or U.S. phones. So how do we ward against that? And how do we, in using our delivery system, protect our reputation? Because we don't want to come up on phones as some kind of a spam call or robocall or something like this. So what happened is they passed a scoring system. They said it is the responsibility of the carriers up and downstream as to what travels across their network. So any company that buys blocks of numbers is probably considered a marketing company. And obviously, this type of system is used for marketing. Thus, it will produce opt-to-track numbers. Now, when you have a number, there is a scoring system out there. There's 1, 54, 75, and 91. Don't ask how they come up with those scores. I don't rightly know. But a perfect number or a number that is clean, is a 1. If you've looked at your cell phone recently in the past few weeks, you'll notice that there are all kinds of different prompts. We associate that with doing updates on our software of our cell phones, but that's really not where it's coming from. These are carrier-induced prompts. And it may say, if you see a number on your phone, it may give you the selection where you can block it. It may give it to you where it says block and report or report. What happens is you don't recognize a call coming in. So you click block and report. Thus, a black mark has gone against that number, no matter whether it was good, bad, or ugly. It doesn't matter. A black mark has gone against it, and thus that will increase the score. So let's say you get 2 or 3 of those, and your score turns into a 54. Well, at that point, what's happening is the carriers will thus, when it comes up on a phone, will start saying, your phone will flash red. It'll say potential spam, potential robo, potential don't answer it, whatever it might be prompting you. And that is the carrier's due diligence, complying with the laws, that they are notifying you as a consumer that that may be a potential spam call or something like that. Well, when we're calling out with legitimate marketing, we don't want our messages or our database to be thinking we're calling them with that kind of number. Because of the fact that it only takes a couple reports to change the score, we need to make sure we do rep checks on our numbers prior to using that opt-to-track number on another campaign tomorrow, let's say, or at a different time. So all we've got to do is we, once again, pull up RepCheck, and you can type in a number. Now, you could type in any number here. You can type in your cell phone, landline, whatever. All phone numbers have scores these days, okay? So in this case, we're going to be RepChecking the vanity number we used, or the opt-to-track number that we used in our campaign, because we want to make sure whether or not it's got a score of 1, or is it have an increased score, in which case we would no longer use it. So I type in the opt-to-track number we used, and I'm going to click RepCheck. Now, understand this system, when you do a rep check, will cost you 20 credits. That's 20 cents every time you do a rep check. Well, for keeping my reputation clean and safe in my marketing, 20 cents is nothing. I'll do that all the time. Once I select rep check, I put in the number and I submit it. Here is the date and time that I've done that rep check. Here is obviously the OptiTrack number, and you can see that this is a score of 1. So level 1, there's 0 reports, and so on. This, if it was you're sending out to hundreds or thousands of numbers, you probably have a good chance that at the end of a one campaign, or maybe a couple campaigns, that this is going to change to a 54, and you may have different, may stay at level 1, and reports might be 2 or 3 or whatever. And this is going to be shown right here in this area of the dashboard. All I look at primarily is I rep check it. If this score changes, I just don't use the number anymore. And then all I've got to do is go get another OptiTrack number. So that's completely up to your discretion. Now, what happens if it does score 54, 75, or 91, and you continue to use that OptiTrack? What the carriers are going to do is, because it's had that increased score, the carriers will start blocking that from being able to put a voicemail on a consumer's phone or so on. And that's how the enforcement of the telemarketing laws is happening with the carriers. Now, this rep check area of our system ties into the algorithms of all of the carriers. So we have current up to the second data on our specific OptiTrack numbers and what their scores are across the board. This keeps us completely compliant and clean in the latest and greatest telemarketing laws that are out there in the United States. Now, there is one other feature here that is called Smart Pool. Smart Pool is, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but the Smart Pool is where you have selected numerous OptiTrack numbers and you're putting them in there to run a Smart Pool campaigns. This feature is applicable to folks that are sending out 1 million voice drops in a week, or just very, very high volume. If you do, then what this does is it allows, once it's set up, it allows it to rep check automatically the numbers. And if a number comes up with any kind of a score beyond a 1, it is going to automatically pull that OptiTrack number out and use one of the other ones that you already have loaded in with the Smart Pool. So this Smart Pool is attached to the RepCheck feature, thus keeping you compliant and your systems compliant and your campaigns clean from spam, and also compliant with the telemarketing laws. That ends the tutorial on RepCheck.